For years, I drove around in my little Toyota Yaris. The car had been hit once. The driver's door was so damaged it wouldn't even open anymore. So every single day, I had to climb through the passenger side just to start the engine. It wasn't glamorous, it wasn't comfortable, and honestly, it was embarrassing at times. But I kept driving it because in my mind, every extra mile I got out of that car was another dollar saved. And that became the way I lived my entire life. Groceries, only the discounts ones. Clothes, I wore them until the seams gave out. Night outs, almost never, because I do sit there calculating the cost in hours of work. At $15 an hour, a dinner wasn't just food, it was 3 hours of my life. And most of the time I told myself, why waste 3 hours of work on something I can make at home? At first, this didn't feel like a sacrifice, it felt smart. I didn't need luxury, but my basic needs were covered. My savings account was growing, and I believe every dollar saved up brought me closer to freedom. Because for me, frugality wasn't just about being cheap, it was about control. It was about buying back my time. And I hated long days that left my body aching. I hated the feeling that I was living just to pay my bills. So in my head, I had two options. Option A, work as much as possible, earn more, and spend more. Or option B, spend less, save more, and need to work less. And to me, option B was the only one that made sense. The math of every decision. Every purchase became a calculation. How many hours of my life would this cost me? At $50 an hour, a new pair of sneakers was just a shoe. It was a full day of work. A dinner at a chain restaurant, 3 hours. And you know what tasted even better than a veggie burger? 3 hours of not being at work. I used the trick constantly to talk myself out of spending. And on paper, it worked brilliantly. I avoided debt, I built savings quickly, and I was getting close to the finish line of financial freedom. But slowly, something started to feel off. The downside of extreme frugal. While my bank account was growing, my actual life wasn't. I didn't feel like I was living. I felt like I was just waiting for some future where I could finally enjoy the things I had worked so hard for. And the longer I lived that way, the worse it got. Because even when I had money, I couldn't even bring myself to spend it. I checked my bank app multiple times a day and redid the math in my head constantly. Every small purchase, a $25 dinner, a $40 top, made me anxious. I do wake up the next morning thinking, that's a week of Roshi. What did I just do? I trained myself into a scarcity mindset so deeply I almost couldn't escape, and it started to hurt my quality of life in a serious way. I was disciplined, yes, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't living. There were nights where I stayed at home exhausted after work, scrolling through photos of vacation of cars, and I do think, what am I doing this for? Am I really going to save and save until I'm 60 and only then allow myself to enjoy life? The breaking point. After almost 30 years of living this way, I hit the breaking point. I had money in my account, I worked harder than ever, but I felt like I was suffocating. And that was the moment I asked myself the hardest question of all. What is the point of financial freedom if I don't even let myself be free? And that question haunted me, and it led to one of the boldest decisions I have ever made. Living life. I started to take vacation. Traveling makes me really happy. I love experiencing the world, new cultures, new people, new food. I traveled to other places too, and those experiences brought me joy, fulfillment, and a deep sense of contentment. For me, this is important as saving and investing. It's part of living a rich life, not just in numbers, but in memories. The Audi moment. And then, when I went out and bought an Audi A5. Now, for years, I told myself I didn't care about cars. I drove my broken Yaris for ages, climbing through the wrong door because it was practical. But deep down, I dreamed of owning something better. I admired the feeling of driving something beautiful. So when I finally signed the papers and drove that Audi home, it was terrifying. I have never spent that much money on myself before. But it was also one of the most liberating moments of my life. Sitting in those leather seats, holding the wheel, hearing the engine, it felt like a proof. Proof that I wasn't just working to survive. Proof that I could finally give something back to myself. That car wasn't just transportation for me. It was a symbol of finally allowing myself to live. And to this day, every time I see that Audi, I feel proud. Not because it's just a nice car, but because it represents a turning point. A reminder that money isn't just for later on, it's also for now. And also to add, the Audi is bought secondhand. Self-employment and freedom. But here is the truth. Buying the a car wasn't the real solution. It was just a wake-up call. And because I realized that the real issue wasn't my savings account, it was the way I earned money. Working as a dental hygienist drained me. It left me physically tired, emotionally flat, and constant searching for escape. So no matter how much I saved, I always felt trapped. And that's why I started asking, if there is a way to build a life I don't need to escape from. That is when I turned to self-employment. Now, working for yourself isn't perfect. Sometimes it's harder. Sometimes you work more hours and not less. But instantly, certain miseries disappear. Not the boss breathing down my neck, no micromanagement, and no begging for permission to take a day off. No alarm at 6 a.m. unless I chose it. It gave me control. And control was what I have been chasing all along. The twist. Here's the twist. My income didn't explode overnight. It didn't suddenly make millions. But my hatred for my work decreased dramatically, and that was everything. Because when you stop hating the way you earn money, you stop being so afraid to spend it. Dinner with friends no longer felt like guilt. A new outfit no longer felt like failure. Spending on hobbies felt excitement instead of scary. I was still frugal. I still cook at home and I still compare prices and track my spending. But I wasn't living in the fear anymore. The real lesson. And that is what I realized. Extreme frugality isn't just about saving money. It always comes from a scarcity mindset. And scarcity almost always comes from unhappiness. From wanting to escape something, a job, a situation, a lifestyle. And when you shift your focus, when you stop thinking only about what you want to run away from and start thinking about what you actually want to build, everything changes. Money stops being about survival, it becomes about design. Designing a life you enjoy now, not just you're waiting for someday in the future. Where am I today? So yes, I'm still frugal in many ways, but I still hate wasting money. But if something breaks, I replace it. If I want to try a new hobby, I do not stop myself from it. And yes, I still love that Audi sitting in my driveway, because it's not just a car, it's a reminder that money is meant to serve me and not to control me. That freedom isn't only having a fat savings account, it's also feeling free to actually live my life today. So that is my story. Now I do love to hear yours. Do you consider yourself frugal? Has it empowered you, or has it ever held you back? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if this video resonated with you, do not forget like and subscribe for more. If you're interested in more frugal habits, watch this video.